Spoilers!
Spoiler what?
Well, I just want to make sure if anybody feels like they're going to get spoiled.
Well, we don't give any spoilers, but in this RIOT podcast, we talk about the limitation, the time frame.
Not spoilers!
Because of a spoiler that you gave on Sunday, so we're talking about it today.
Yeah, that's in there. We also get into Movie Pass.
When will we stop talking about Movie Pass?
6 days.
In 6 days, that's it? Because then you're going to be done with?
Then I will no longer be a Movie Pass subscriber, so in 6 days,
won't care.
We're done. Let's see that. We talk first dates, why Nikki should like Supergirl, the library police, and how they're on me.
Someone got a letter in the mail.
How Nikki and I represent the best of mankind due to our lack of sleep and realism. Costco food fights, Android pies.
Perfect.
And a little Black Panther in the mix just for seasoning.
Just for a little bit extra. So don't forget to join us at RadioU and RadioU RIOT on Facebook. There we talk more about the spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
So you can join the conversation there and make sure to follow both of our pages on Facebook.
And here's the exciting thing, is that when Nikki and I end this podcast intro, I'm going to get a snack.
Woo! I ate mine.
I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet.
Are you going to have bread?
Yeah.
Your toast?
I know. I always feel bad, like, when I eat bread because Nikki's not eating bread. I feel like I'm, like, living some lascivious lifestyle, like sneaking off to the break room for a little bread.
Your bread, you have it in a bag like it's some sort of drug. There are in the break room some banana muffins, too, and those look super good.
Wait, what?
Banana muffins.
Can you say that again?
They're banana muffins. They're on the break room table.
They must have just come in. I didn't see them earlier.
They're worth having. They look good.
Well, you know what's funny? I like real talk. Peanut butter toast, not really a great breakfast for me. Almond butter toast, it's great.
You love it? Yeah.
Not only do I like it, but I don't know what the deal is, the difference. I know the almond butter doesn't have as much sugar in it as like a Jif peanut butter does. Dude, I'm good for like 3 hours after that, which is crazy because it's bread, but it...
Well, you're having a good bread. There's I saw lots of seeds on it.
It's all full of seeds and crap. So, like, it's a good breakfast for me, dude.
Well, you guys go enjoy the podcast and whatever food you get to eat today.
Hopefully you get a snack.
And you get a muffin, too.
It's the RIOT.
Bye.
Waking up with the RIOT makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. RadioU.
Last night, so many of you hit me up on Twitter and Facebook and were like, hey, did you see it? Because every time there's Movie Pass news...
You guys always... Even you contact me to tell him.
Hey, Nikki, tell Obadiah.
Make sure, hey, did you hear if he heard about this? It's so cute.
You know what's really funny is that I use Google Assistant on my phone. Google Assistant was pushing me movie Pass news yesterday afternoon. They're like, hey, did you see?
Just want to make sure because
did you see?
I don't know why, but he's synonymous, I guess, with Movie Pass because he's had it for
since January.
Not since the exact beginning of Movie Pass, but before it started having all the problems.
Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. Movie Pass yesterday made yet another announcement. Now, last week they were like, hey, guys, we're raising our prices to $15 a month. You're not going to be able to go to, like, new movies. But about 2 weeks after it's a new movie, then you can go, okay? And you're not going to be able to go to, like, all showings.
It was a mess.
Like, you can go to some showings, though. Just check your Movie Pass app when you want to go to the movies, and if there's a showing, okay, you can go to the showing.
And I guess we should also back it up a second, too. Like, if you even know what Movie Pass is, it was basically a subscription service or a monthly fee that you would pay, and then you would be able to go see a movie a day.
Dude.
You're like, that's so good to be true. And like, well, it wasn't able. Yeah, it wasn't able to, so they keep changing the terms on it.
When I signed up in January, it was actually, I signed up in December because I used it over Christmas break.
It was a free-for-all.
It was. It was $10 a month, one movie a day, as many movies as you want.
Yeah.
So you could go to the movies every single day. You could see any movie. I could have seen, whatever, like 30 times if I wanted to. It wouldn't have mattered.
And I think it was starting to be around Avengers time when things really started to crack,
falling apart.
Because you started getting notifications like, hey, you cannot see this movie again.
Yeah,
so if you saw it the first time, you couldn't go back.
And they knew because I was going to go see Avengers. I saw it one day and I was like, well, I'll go see it again. No, I guess I won't.
So that was the beginning of the end.
So it's been falling apart. Well, yesterday they backtracked on all of that stuff. And here's what they say now. Okay, we're back to $10 a month.
$9.95.
But you can only see 3 movies a month.
A month.
Yeah, which to be clear, that is basically what Cinemia, I believe it's called. That is pretty much what their plan is. They offer something that's between 10 and 13 a month, I believe. It's 3 movies a month.
Isn't that also the Cinemark one?
No, this is actually a separate company.
No, I meant Cinemark also theirs is 1 movie a month?
1 movie a month.
It's like, why bother?
The Cinemark one's a joke.
Well, they're trying to get mostly like savings on the food.
Right. So that's, at this point, the best deal in town is the AMC thing. If you have an AMC theater near you, $20, 3 movies a week. You can buy your tickets in advance, and there's no restrictions. So you can go to the IMAX, you can go to the Dolby, you can go to whatever you want.
How Movie Pass has fallen.
Yeah,
so 3 movies per month can be, though, for any movie. There's no more peak pricing. That was also something they started doing. That's something.
Yeah. So
is anyone still a member here, or did everybody cancel?
Well, I don't know about Josh, but I know that Hudson has canceled and I have canceled. So I think Josh there was just the 3 of us that had it and just really used it a bunch until, you weren't allowed to use it anymore. The last straw, Hudson had the same thing happen to him that happened to me. He went to go to the movies and he opened up his app and there were no showings available at all for the rest of the day.
They were just saying, nope, can't use it.
It was just like, this thing you're paying for, we turned it off. I was like, oh, what? Yeah, it's
pretty
off.
much. So yeah, any Movie Pass news from now on, don't forget, always send that to Obi.
Yeah.
Bear news for me, Movie Pass news for you.
Okay. And just to be clear, I have 6 days left.
Oh, on your
and then
Movie
I'm
Pass?
out. Just so everybody knows.
Go see all 3 movies. That's all you get.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Are you guys ready to pay
more money?
The mouse tax? That's what we're going to call it.
Money. Is that what they're saying in it?
I'm just going to start. That's the name of the new Disney streaming service, Mouse Tax.
Money.
You guys owe Disney more of your money. You do. They need more of it. They are not getting enough.
They don't own enough. I mean, it's really a shame.
You got to help them. So Disney's streaming service launches next year.
Yeah.
And they've been doing a lot of talking. And yesterday, truth be told, I don't know where. Okay, it was the New York Times. They must have done an interview or something. But they talked a lot about the things that they're going to have on the streaming service. They're going to have a live-action Star Wars TV series. They said they're spending over $100 million on 10 episodes of that.
On just that?
That's expensive.
Going back to the money thing.
Well, they were doing a comparison. They say that is what HBO paid for the 6th season of Game of Thrones, which was their most expensive season ever.
My gosh.
So other
and
things.
I'm sorry, you said it's a live action thing?
It is live action.
Okay, that makes sense.
10 episodes live action. They also are doing a Monsters, Inc. show, a new High School Musical show. They are also bringing back the Muppets, which that hurts, guys.
Why?
Because you're hitting me in the feels.
Because you have fond memories of childhood things and Muppets.
I like the Muppets. They're also doing live-action adaptations. So you know how they've done Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, where they're doing some that are going to be exclusively straight to their Disney service, including Lady and the Tramp and The Sword and the Stone. They're doing a remake of 3 Men and a Baby.
Okay.
That is coming to their service exclusively. They are also going to be doing a new adaptation of Don Quixote, and they're doing a live-action Stargirl. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. And something called Timmy Failure.
They're just going to do a lot of... they're just trying to tell you that, hey... Along with other Disney stuff that they own, you'll be getting a lot of exclusive content.
Okay, I just got to tell you right now, I just rolled my eyes. Smack me because they're getting stuck. They're going to have, and this will be just in time for Christmas, Noelle. That's Anna Kendrick starring as the daughter of Santa Claus.
Feels like a Hallmark Channel.
It really does. Now, the other thing that they mentioned that I thought was interesting is because a lot of people are like, if you look at Netflix, it is full of Disney-owned stuff.
So where will that go?
It'll
will that
disappear.
leave? Wow.
So,
now, I know some of them have different deals, so like not all movies might disappear maybe right away.
Well, what Disney has done is Disney just chose to not renew any of their streaming contracts with anyone.
That was a bad day for companies.
And so Netflix will lose. They will not lose their Netflix original Marvel series.
Yeah.
So like The Defenders, Daredevil, Luke Cage, all that stuff. but they will lose all of the Marvel/Disney movies. And eventually all of those Marvel movies will come off of Netflix. And they say the first Marvel movie that will exclusively come to Disney's streaming service is, wait for it, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah, that's the Brie Larson Captain Marvel movie that is it next year, 2 years from now? I don't know. Any
pricing?
No,
it will be a monthly, though, service?
I'm going to spitball, I think $15.
You think so?
I think it'll be $15 a month.
That's a big jump out of the gate because, I mean, you got to have a place to grow in a year or two.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So, okay, I see what you're saying. They're perfectly fine growing past that.
Here's what I think they're going to do.
We're so messed up.
I've been watching some of this stuff. I think what they're going to do is the other thing that Disney's been really grabby about is their 4K streaming rights. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to find anything from Disney streaming in 4K anywhere. And I think one of the things they're probably going to do is they will make that service an exclusive streaming place for a lot of their content in 4K, which I realize is not a big deal now, but as you know, as time rolls on and the TV you bought 5 years ago breaks and stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff that eventually begins to matter.
So I see we'll be spending more money monthly, won't we? It'll take so much stuff. Most people will probably do that one.
The days are coming when you'll be longing for your cable bill.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to The Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's The Riot on RadioU.
Man, I went running this morning. It is trash day in my neighborhood. And I didn't give that a thought at all when I stepped outside this morning. But let me tell you what I have done. I have seen and, more importantly, taken deep, gasping breaths of...
all your neighbors' trash.
My entire neighborhood's trash. All of it. I think there's only one tiny stretch of my neighborhood that I haven't run past as of this morning, and I guess I'll go down later and check out their trash.
Did you run on the sidewalk or do you run on the street?
I run on the street.
On the street, so you're just next to it.
I mean, running on the street at 4 a.m., there's nobody. You got...
There's just trash.
I could lay down and take a nap in the middle of the road. Nobody's dumb enough to be awake at 4 o'clock in the morning except for me.
You're always like, who's that weird guy out running? Like, it's me.
Okay, I will say, I yawned really loud at one point, and then I was like, you can't do that. People are sleeping. Somebody's like, there's a wild animal outside. It's trying to get in.
Our trash. They're thinking you're out there going through everything. You only look good coming out of that.
Yeah.
They're like, I think I saw you outside with the trash.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, look, I don't want to get all motivational speaker on you here, but I do want to talk about your trash, right? Trash day, you take your trash out. You just do. You're not like, you know what, let's take the trash downstairs, and if we close the door, I'm sure we won't notice.
It's got to go all the way out.
What happens if you do that? Right, like you're sitting in your nice living room or bedroom or whatever, and if you keep taking the trash and shoving it in the bag, what happens? You start to notice the stink. Everything looks really nice, but that smell starts to creep in, and it's creeping in here and there, and all the nice places, there's still a smell, and pretty soon even the nice places are ruined by the trash that you're shoving in the back. Here's what you think. You think in order to be loved and accepted, you've got to pretend like you got nothing wrong, you're the best around, all that kind of stuff. You're wrong. The people in your life that you got to lie to make them love you and stick around, those are not the people that love you and want to stick around. It's time for you to take out the trash. Now, here's the thing. God loves you. God knows that you got a back room where you're keeping the trash, and he knows there's a stench that nobody's quite sure where it's coming from, but it's around, okay? He knows about it. Here's what I want you to know. Do you know that God doesn't love you any less because of your trash? Do you know that God doesn't love you any less because of the mistakes you've made or the things you've done to other people or the things they've done to you? It's like you're terrified that somebody's going to find out that you were abused when you were a kid and you don't want anybody to know about it because you think you're marked for life, and that's a lie because God wants to heal your hurts. It's time to take out the trash. It's time to be the person that you really are. Now, if we could take out the trash and we're like, we're just going to put it in the living room and live with it. Look how trashy we are. No. What God wants to do is he wants to take the trash, you take it out there, and he wants to come and pick it up. Get rid of it. Think about that. That's what God wants to do for you and with you. Maybe it's a matter of habits that you can't stop, or maybe you need healed from something that you've been hurt. This is the part where, in the story, where things turn. This is trash day. So you know what? Let's do it. Say, you know what, Jesus, I want that. I want to put out my trash. I want you to take it. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I need you to heal me. I need you to set me free. I need something, God. I don't know what, but get in here and do it. God hears you, and God's on the move.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. Radio U.
You're looking for a good first date. And come on, like, the escape room is a quasi-good option, but so been done, right?
You want something else besides that?
And you're like, hey, we'll go retro. All right, we'll go to a movies and coffee. What do you think about that? Yeah, but then if they don't understand that that's an ironic first date, then they might mistake that for an actual first date and think you don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
So axe throwing is an option.
That one's become popular.
I think that sounds like fun. But here's another option, Nikki. A smash room.
What's this? Oh, where you throw things.
Where you throw things or you destroy things.
See, that's too much. That's too intense for a first date.
You think it is?
Yeah, because then you're seeing, like, what's this person's problem? They got a lot of anger.
A lot of anger.
Like a lot of anger. And
a lot of angst.
And then if you were to really use a smash room and have a good time, then you look even worse.
You think so?
Because you're just destroying everything.
So then what date do you think that becomes acceptable on?
I would say maybe 5 or 6 in.
Oh, way in.
Way in.
Okay. All right. Well, I was looking there. I was reading an article about them opening a couple in Tampa.
Yeah.
And so they were saying that's, let's see, one person in a 20-minute session in a smash room, $30.
So you can't even go as a group?
$60 will get you 2 people.
2 people in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it feels a first date.
Kristen says, I'm a smash room is a perfect first date if you want to find out if they're a sociopath.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're learning a bit too much about them.
I don't know. Like,
no, it's too much.
I thought it sounded like...
Someone else texted, smash rooms are for married people, date nights. So you're angry, but you're already committed.
So you're stuck in there?
Yeah, and so you get your anger out.
I don't know. I thought it sounded like a fun, interesting, like, hey, we're smash rooming. Whee.
Again, I'd save that for a few dates in.
All right. Okay. Well, you know what? In fairness... you have a first date, you're going to need a second or a third one.
Got to plan stuff for then.
You just take this idea, put it in your back pocket. Okay, but what about axe throwing? Isn't that like...
I wouldn't pick that for a first date either.
Why not?
Well, because there could be an accident, and then you'll never see each other.
Accident?
There could be a problem.
Okay, so
listen, this is why we stick to the movies or going out to eat or coffee. That's what you do for a first date.
All right, well, what about mini golf?
Mini golf? No, because you can get frustrated. If it's just not going well. Depends on the mini golf place.
Maybe I want to see how she acts when frustrated, because I'll tell you one thing for darn sure. If you were a guy getting in a relationship with a girl, she is going to get frustrated with you.
She will.
Just go ahead and...
Might as well see how that is early on, I guess.
Lay the plans. And girls, again, it might be a good opportunity for you to see how he frustrates you. And, like, you could learn a lot in a really short period of time.
Let's say putt-putt and mini golf, that's like 2 or 3 in. Let's go with that.
Man, okay. Coffee.
Coffee in a movie or eating out. Yes, that's what we do. You do that for first dates.
All right, but then he's going to watch you eat. Can you handle that kind of pressure?
Well, no, you eat before you go.
Yep. Okay.
That's just how it is.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
She's a girl. You're a girl.
I'm going to love this story, aren't I?
It's going to be a match made in heaven.
What's the story?
Nikki, they're going to have a Supergirl movie.
Oh, I'm not the one for that. I'm not the one.
I don't want to hear about it. She's a girl. You're a girl.
I don't have a cape.
You're going.
I can't associate with her. I'm not seeing
we'll
it.
We'll get you a cape.
I don't want to.
You're going. I can't even hear you talking. Like, I see your lips moving, but is anything coming out?
I don't want to go to see the Supergirl or Superwoman or Superperson.
She said, let's see, I'm reading her lips. Nikki says, I'm a girl. She's a girl. Wow. The enthusiasm that I feel for Nikki on this new Supergirl project is incredible.
Your lip reading is really bad.
Bad lip reading? Look at all the clicks I'm getting. I'm a girl, she's a girl. I am a super girl. Oh, she's so cute. She's a super girl.
So what are they doing?
They're going to have a Supergirl movie.
Like for TV or for
No,
movie
for
theaters?
Like movies. Yeah.
Who's going to play Supergirl?
They haven't said
Is
yet.
it Supergirl or Superwoman?
It's Supergirl.
Supergirl.
You know what, Nikki? You've got blonde hair now.
I can do that.
You could be Supergirl. There you go. She's a girl. You're a girl. You're Supergirl now. All right, done. Wait, let's
Casting is done.
Get the camera. Let's get started. All right, your motivation is Krypton blew up. Go.
I need some motivation. I'll understand.
Okay, well, we'll work on it. The thing that makes you a little nervous is the guy who wrote 22 Jump Street is going to be writing it.
Oh, where'd that come from?
I don't know. The original Supergirl movie from the 80s just got released on Blu-ray. I am curious. I've seen it. I saw it a long time ago. I would probably sit through that one more time, even though I remembered when I saw it, just being like, man, this movie is terrible.
Which,
it's so bad.
In Obi terms, mean it does get one more time.
Hey, guys, I like bad movies.
What's
you know
the
where
show,
I'm at
though?
on that.
What's the show?
There's the TV show, but this is not going to be related.
This is not that?
Yeah, just like with the Justice League movie, they got a new guy to play the Flash. It's kind of like that. Like, yeah, there's a Supergirl show, but whatever, we're doing a movie.
Okay.
You guys can do your little TV thing.
But
the grown-ups are doing
never the two
movie.
shall meet. At least actor or actress-wise.
In some ways, they'd be better off bringing those people to the big screen and forgetting about it. But
I feel like maybe acting-wise. It depends.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So
But
no idea yet on who Supergirl will be.
no, they're saying with these DC movies that they're going to back off the whole like shared universe thing and just start making some standalone movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does make sense. And if you look back at Marvel's history, they did a lot of standalone movies that were just kind of tied together before they did something really big. And DC was like, well, I don't know, Batman hates Superman, go.
Put them in together.
Let's have a big movie, go.
So Supergirl would be like...
This would be like a standalone...
Like Wonder Woman was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that. So, and then next year we get Wonder Woman 85 and Aquaman at Christmas. Well, I don't know. That Aquaman, it looked all right. He's a guy. I'm a guy. It's Aquaman.
Gosh, I like water. He likes water.
I swim sometimes. He swims all the time. It's perfect.
I some mornings think and I look over there and it's like Aquaman over there.
It's perfect.
You're going to love it.
I mean, he has a huge fork. I have a fork. I'm eating. It's perfect.
It is a trident.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Little prongs.
It's fine.
Whatever.
All right. Well, so that's the Supergirl news.
Yeah. So
Thanks for sharing it.
They're saying that. Of all the DC stuff that's coming up, I thought Shazam looked good. It made me...
Which one's that one?
That's the Zach...
The guy from Chuck?
Yeah, that guy. I always get him and Zachary. Is it Zachary Quinto? Isn't that right?
No, that's the guy in
Jack
Star Trek.
Ryan guy.
No,
that's the guy that played Spock.
Spock, yeah.
Never mind. Everybody shut up now.
That was a mess.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Last night came home, from all my partying, so it was very late.
Your typical Monday stuff.
You know how it is. And I went ahead and got my mail. And, okay, most of the time mail, like mail, like...
It's just junk.
It's all junk. And then when you get something where you can see that, there's handwriting on the envelope, you're like, I wonder what that is. Like, there's this...
It must be a mistake.
This has handwriting on it. What do you think that is? And so I went ahead and...
You opened it?
I opened it up.
Isn't it a trap?
Maybe. And it was from the library. And I was like, oh, look, the library sent me a letter. They're probably writing to tell me how much they appreciate me.
Oh, thank you that you still go in. Who goes into the library?
It's a handwritten letter from the library. They're so happy about me. It's wonderful. And then I open it up and they're like, hey, heads up, we're charging you $49.99 for that book you returned and ruined.
For what? Which book was it? And it was handwritten?
Batman, the envelope was handwritten. It was Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Volume 1.
And what did you do to it?
Well, that's a great question because I was just like, okay, so he said, she said.
Yeah.
What? What am I supposed to do? Like, what do you do?
Did you do something to it? I don't think you did, but
Come on.
you like Batman, so you wouldn't hurt the book.
Do you actually, you guys want to know something about me? We never talk about this, but when it comes to my stuff, I am like immaculately caring for it. Like my Blu-rays, I keep the cardboard slip covers. That's also true. But like books, I treat books with just the utmost weird level of respect.
Hey, if you have to go to court on this, I'll go on the
Character
stand.
Witness?
I will be like, listen, he doesn't hurt a thing.
He doesn't even open it.
So someone else damaged it, and you're the one getting the letter?
So they were like, hey, you can come and inspect the book for the next 30 days at this address. And I was like, or you can call this number. I was like, okay. So I called them, and she was like, which book is it? And I told the lady, and she's like, oh, yeah, we threw it away.
What?
And I was like, well, the letter says I can come and inspect the damage. And she's like, well, it was completely soaked all the way through, so they just threw it away. I was like, okay.
Now, here we go, Lice.
I said, this is what was crazy to me, is that I went and I had books that I had checked out when I returned it. And I was like, I visited the library on July 14th and returned that book by placing it on blah, blah, blah. And I checked out the following books on the 14th of July. This letter was generated 2 weeks later telling me that this book that I had dropped off, and she was like, wait a minute.
They're putting you on hold. They're like, he's asking questions.
He's asking questions, guys. He's got dates. The man has dates.
We're not going to be able to charge him. We just know it.
What's going to happen now? And so, I'm on hold for a long time.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and she's like, so you say you returned the book by handing it to a staff member on July 14th? And I was like, well, I stacked it on the place where you return the books. I didn't make sure they checked it back in. Just a minute. Put you back on hold. And I'm just like, man, what is going on down there?
Oh, I'm so curious to what happens.
Stick around and invite me. I'll tell you.
On this next edition with Batman.
Tomorrow on the Riot. She finally comes back and she's like, well, according to the notes that we have here, this was returned in the outside drop and it was soaking wet, blah, blah, blah. She's
That's
like,
not you.
But if you say that you returned it on this date and we didn't send you a letter until this date, I'm not going to, we'll go ahead and remove this charge from your account.
He's been cleared. He has been cleared of all wrongdoing. If the book isn't wet,
you must forget.
You must forget and forgive him of his $40-something.
I couldn't believe it. But it's just that moment you're like, you guys are charging me. So I went on Amazon to look. On Amazon, the book full retails like $19.99. I'm like, this is 2.5 times what the book costs that you're charging me.
If they would have made you pay for it, I would have gotten a book from Amazon, just gave it to them.
No, I had already made up my mind. I was like, if these guys charge me $50 for this book, I'm never going to the library again.
Well,
I'm not paying them for a book I didn't damage.
Now you've been cleared because you didn't do anything wrong.
Cleared of all charges, guys.
The Riot is now accepting applications for a staff pastry chef. Please drop your resumes and an example of your work at the studio door, and we'll get back to you. Wink, wink. The Riot on Radio U.
So my question to all of you was movie spoilers. Okay, I was at church on Sunday. I'm on stage. I got a microphone. I say something.
You said something that would have been a spoiler.
Right.
But for a movie that's been...
But it was for Avengers, so I'm like, it's 3 months. I'm fine.
It's been out for a while.
And, and this is not fair because everyone has different life circumstances. But my thought was like, man, if you care, you've seen it.
You would have seen it.
You've seen it, right? Or
at least if you're so passionate about it.
Right. So my question is, spoilers, what is... And again, I know this is a discussion that's been had before, but I don't feel like I've crossed the line before. I feel like up until now, I've been fine and I haven't had to worry about it. But I broke a sacred trust this weekend, and I'm trying to decide.
Now know the time frame that you're going to go with.
Right. So I've had people sounding off. Matt says 3 weeks is about right. So 3 weeks after a movie comes out.
Because I feel like movies and TV shows and sporting events are different.
Yeah, sporting events, you got 24 hours if you're lucky. And with a sporting event, it's on you to make sure that you don't find out.
You're not getting it.
Because, you're out of luck on that. Sarah says, as long as it's a movie made before 1923, you're good.
You can spoil anything.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Kristen says, come on, people talk about the movie right after it came out. It's all people talk about at work or school, not to mention the reviews are out, so people need to lighten up. Man, Kristen, she didn't come to play today. All right. Phil, He's in Houston, Texas, says, I go back and forth either when movie leaves theater or available on Blu-ray. I haven't seen it because I have a newborn daughter. So he's got an excuse.
He doesn't have as much theater time.
Yeah.
So he has to wait for it to come out digitally anyways.
So we're talking about spoilers, and you can text your thoughts on what the right period of time is, 877-2-RADIO-U. But Aaron says, I think you were fine to talk about it, especially with really popular movies. I think the expectation for spoilers is in a smaller time zone than might be in a less popular movie. Okay? And Shrew says, I just ask people who've seen it if they plan to see it and if they care about spoilers. Let's see, I was on stage.
Yeah, like here, we'll give you a warning if we're going to spoil something.
I try to remember.
But there, it's not like they can just plug their ears.
They can. I wear earplugs all the time. But
they would just put their hands on their ears.
It's loud sometimes.
I know, even if you did that, we'd still hear you.
You'd still hear it. Still come through. So I don't know. I guess.
Hey, you have a good heart about it, though. You didn't mean to.
Nikki, I want to do the right thing,
You didn't mean to spoil it. You're never like that. That's not your thing.
And you know what? I have compassion because we don't have to get into what it is, but there was a show that had a cliffhanger that I was trying so hard to get to that before someone else had seen it. And I had it. It was on my DVR. I was headed home. I told someone that I was headed home. And then they just thought it was hilarious that they knew how much I wanted to watch it. And keep in mind, we're talking like we're at 12 hours at this point, and they took joy in spoiling it for me.
They intentionally did it.
And so, the thing is that sometimes the path to compassion is through pain, and I've felt that pain, and I feel compassion for those of you that I may have inflicted on. And all I can say is I'm sorry.
And you don't want to do it again. So now you'll learn the time.
I never meant to hurt you. I'm sorry for what I did.
But I learned it from watching you.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Let me show you how Nikki and I are winning at life. You ready?
How are we doing that?
Let me show you how we're shining examples of how to move on, how to cope, how to live.
And what are we doing?
You ready?
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 studies here. One is getting too much sleep can be bad for you.
Oh, well, we're safe there, aren't we?
Right?
Safe.
I mean, I can't think of the last time I said to myself, I got enough, let alone I'm getting too much sleep.
It's not like we feel like we're getting enough or not getting enough. We have the hours to back up the fact that we know we're really, truly not getting enough sleep.
How much did you sleep last night?
I usually sleep about 6 hours a night.
I get 6, and like last night was 6.5.
Yeah, we get more on the weekend, but during the weekdays, no.
What's really great is last night I fell asleep just before a very important text message came in. I didn't get it.
Well, you were out.
I should have stayed up later.
And every so often, an afternoon nap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, how about this? People who are always looking on the positive side are less prepared to deal with reality. So here we go.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, I'm just saying, uh-oh.
Here's what it says. University College London psychologists. They asked people, they did a series of questions and whatever, and they found that people who are judged as being either realists or pessimists were able to process bad news and take action more quickly than people who are considered positive or optimistic.
We're realists.
See?
We know how it goes. We know how it is.
That's exactly right.
We're not surprised, shocked.
We're not pessimists.
No, we're not, because we're not negative about it. We're just real with it.
I just know how people are.
But everybody thinks that becomes a pessimistic thing.
I know how it works. I know what's really going on.
We understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Nikki, don't you see our lack of sleep is making us healthy?
Yeah.
And our realism is preparing us to deal with problems with quicker response times.
I feel better, like I'm not as worried.
Eternal optimists are more likely to be crestfallen by bad news and unable to act rationally.
Not with us. I always feel bad, though. Like I was like, I'll track my sleep and stuff.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
I can't because it just judges me. It's like one big judgment fest.
I got a friend of mine that's a teacher, and we were talking, and they were like, why are you so tired all the time? And I was like, all right.
What do we think?
Here we go. Let's talk about this.
Let me be real about it,
Let's
I'm
talk
a realist.
For a minute. Okay, you're on summer vacation. Could you do me a favor? Let's talk about what your sleep schedule looks like. They were getting 9.5 hours of sleep a night.
That is so much. That is so much.
I was getting 5.5 to 6. And I was like, so let's see. You're literally getting a day and a half more sleep. Like, it's almost like you're having a whole other night and half a night of sleep all week.
Yeah.
So, like, and you're like, how come you're so tired? Boom. Boom. There it is. That's why.
That's why. There's the realism.
How's that?
Not negative.
That wasn't negative?
No. Do you see the difference?
Nikki and I were talking about real things. Mm-hmm. That's not negative. I'm not a negative person.
Well, just bookmark that in case anybody's like, hey, guys.
I got these 2 studies that are going to shut you up.
In a nice way.
Maybe you should go back to bed, son. Nikki and I don't sleep a lot, and we're real.
Are you still taking your afternoon nap thing, or did you get out of that?
Those really long ones?
Yeah.
I had to break that cycle.
Well, sure. We get into that every so often.
No, I had a week where I was sleeping almost 3 hours an afternoon. It was 2 to 2.5, but it was bad, guys.
Well, it's great, but bad.
But bad.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
Aside from being sleep deprived and realist, something else you should know about the riot is that we're unabashed fans of Costco.
We are.
Which is ridiculous.
I know, but
look,
it's fine.
I can get pizza for $1.99.
And a drink. You get the hot dog and the drink combo. Nothing beats it.
That pizza, it's more than I can eat. For $2, I've got more pizza than I can eat. What?
I mean, so are we fans of Costco or just Costco food court?
I like to say it's all the same. It's all part of the same package.
Even though I don't think you have to have a Costco membership to eat at the food court.
You know what? So much the better. I'll just go ahead and I'll cancel my membership. And
I think you have to look that one up, but I don't know if you have to because you don't have to show your membership. So if you just pay by cash or card, you're good.
It's not really my scene, but like some people wander through Costco and they're eating all of the free samples. I always feel like it's always an older woman and she hands me a sample and I just feel obligated to listen to her sales pitch and then pretend like I'm going to buy the thing she's sampling.
Because you know they're not Costco employees. Like
Are they
that,
not?
I think what this is, because my grandmother did it for a little bit, not at Costco, but just at like grocery stores and places. It's like its own service, and they send the people out to do it, which tends to be why they're usually older women who've been retired.
Okay. So
that'd be like you driving for Uber or Amazon. Like that's what older people can do.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, like when I'm old, like working at Costco, I'm down with that. I love talking to people. I love having food. So like I'm eating samples. I'm giving people food. Man, sign me up. I'll do it. Whatever. But that being said, I always feel that way. Now, people get pretty intense in Costco, too. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, again, but if you ever push a cart through Costco, it's Thunderdome. I mean, there are people weaving in and out. You got one guy that is just like out for a Sunday drive. You're there on business. You're trying to get around people, whatever. It's intense, right? And the place that gets the most congested are these sample carts. You got these old ladies.
They wait.
Like,
people wait.
Them out, and people just stop in the middle, get their sample, whatever, and things get ugly. So that's what happened at a Costco in, I don't know, somewhere outside of Seattle over the week. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. This was in Greenville, South Carolina. Okay. You got a 70-year-old man who was waiting in line for his cheese sample. Mm-hmm. All right. Then you had a 72-year-old man that was tired of waiting, and he just walked up and grabbed a cheese sample and walked off.
So they weren't ready yet, but he didn't care.
Just seems fine, whatever. Then the exact same thing happened. The 70-year-old man is waiting for a cheeseburger sample when the man who had cut in front of him before came up, snagged it again, and got in front of him, and that's when...
Yeah, 70-year-old guys fighting.
That's when it happened. The first guy who had been cut in front of twice balled up a fist, and boom!
Anger.
Hit the guy, and that's when things got serious.
You know, that never happens when I'm out shopping. You see people that are, like, passively angry at each other, but not, like, actually physically going to do anything.
Yeah, well, I told you about the lady who yelled at me that I got in front of her because I didn't realize that there was a line.
Store?
So rather than saying, like, hey, There's a line back here. It was like
communicating in a mature way.
Jammed her card in front of me and started screaming, and I was like, "Oh, there's a line.
My bad.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. It didn't work out." So yeah, dude, they straight up had Costco Fight Club, which by the way makes me like Costco more. And I love the idea of like, you want a cheese sample, you're gonna have to fight me for it. Cool.
You want one of the first ones, or you could just patiently wait until you get your sample.
Or I just go and pay $2 for the cheese pizza, and
that's all the cheese sample you need.
I got all I need, right? Like, I'm totally fine with it. But
now, Matt Texas is an ex-Costco food court employee. People like you guys make my work days a living nightmare. Why? We're great at Costco.
No, Matt.
We're just going there and having something. That's it.
People like Nikki and I make you employed, Matt.
At the food court. That's what we did.
We make the food court a living nightmare. We make you employed. If we didn't come and order that pizza, there's no job.
We would patiently wait in line. We'd say please and thank you. That's all we do. We're not the problem.
Being a customer doesn't make you a bad person.
We were really good customers.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on Radio U.
Stockton Avenue. That is your traffic update on Radio U.
So today, expect some possible rain, showers, and storms this morning and afternoon with your high 85. And then tonight, storms likely, low 70. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds. Chance of thunderstorms, high 82. It is 72 at Radio U.
You know the deal. Free music. This Saturday in Logan, Ohio, Fireflight and Disciple are playing the Move the Hills Festival. I've got more details for you now. RadioU.com/Ohio. It's 8:34 on The Riot.
The Riot. The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U. 877-2 Radio U. This is pretty fascinating, at least to me, because I love stupid things like this. I made a joke yesterday with Hudson. He and I both have Quit Movie Pass. And we were talking about how there's a theater near us. It's an AMC theater. It has 30 screens.
Yeah.
And I was joking that Justice League is still playing there. It's not. But do you know that Black Panther is still playing on 15 screens in the United States?
But it's already out.
Wait, as of Friday, actually, 25 screens.
Well, why would it be out if you can still go and see it? Like, you can see it on Blu-ray.
I don't know. But you're right. It's on demand. It's on Blu-ray.
It's everywhere.
It should be on Netflix pretty soon because seriously.
Pretty much.
They get those movies about 6 months after release, so it will be on Netflix pretty soon. Huh. So
I guess some people just like to go see a movie in a theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that one doesn't cost, the movie theater makes more money as it gets farther away from its release. Mm-hmm. So if people are still every so often going to go see it, they get a good portion of it, and they have 30 screens to fill.
Plus, you've got like Super Saver, cheap seats, like whatever you call it, theaters. I mean, there used to be one close to my house that I went to all the time. Mm-hmm. And they are...
Now it's kind of like going there instead.
They're a car dealership now. It's no longer a theater.
It evolved into a car dealership.
But as of Friday, on 25 screens, Black Panther made $16,000. That $16,000... has made it now the third highest grossing film in North America. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of times
of all time?
Yes. Now, a lot of times when you see like, hey, this is the highest grossing film of all time, that includes money from every market. So whether it's the United States, Mexico, China, Japan, like wherever you're at, it's a worldwide box office amount. This is just in North America. Black Panther crossed the $700 million mark.
A lot of money.
Mm-hmm. So it is now the third highest grossing movie in North America, $700 million. Now, worldwide, it's at $1.3 billion. It did not play as well in other markets as it did in the United States. The other two movies that are ahead of it, Avatar is at number 2, and it has made $760 million in the United States. And that was back in 2009. And then you have Star Wars The Force Awakens from 2015. It made $936 million
in
North America and over $2 billion worldwide.
Can I have a round of applause? I haven't seen any of the three top.
Oh, really?
Yay!
You haven't seen Black Panther yet?
No, I haven't seen that. Haven't seen the Star Wars one. Haven't seen the other one.
Nikki, Avatar is terrible. Don't. Black Panther, though.
Yeah, sure. I've heard good things about it.
It's great.
Maybe I will wait when it's on Netflix.
It's a great movie. Just, if nothing else, to enjoy Black Panther's sister that makes all the gadgets. She's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
I'll wait till Netflix, but you can spoil away because it doesn't bother me.
Black Panther wins in the end.
Oh, really? No. See, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Spoiler
alert. And it's still in theaters.
Yeah, that would. What was the one that you and Eric watched? You watched a superhero movie a couple weeks ago.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
That was good. I was surprised how much I liked it.
Benedict Cabbage Patch. Well,
Cumberbatch, I think. You say it wrong all the time.
You don't even know.
No one even knows anymore what his name is.
I'll tell you what, when Black Panther hits Netflix,
then I'll watch it.
It'd be worth your time.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
Hey, did you guys hear about the new Android? 3 androids walk into a bar, the 4th one ducks? No. Android yesterday, Google announced what the P was for. Android, now remember, a lot of us who have Android phones were running Android O. Then they announced that Android O stands for Oreo.
So that's your operating system?
Uh-huh.
And they always come in with candy or like cookie names?
Mm-hmm. Now, Android P is the next operating system. It's being offered to Google Pixel phones today.
Is it pretzel?
It's not pretzel. Pretzel's not really a dessert. And remember,
True.
They do dessert.
Pie.
It is pie.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
So they missed the possibility of a peanut butter Oreo.
Ooh, that would have been good.
A peanut butter Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart was actually one that a lot of people thought they were going to go with.
Be?
A lot of people thought that Android P would be Pop-Tarts. Other people also were saying possibly peppermint.
Peppermint?
Which
Pop-Tart, I feel, is a brand name. Well, even though Oreo, you're right. Oreo, too.
And they did Kit Kat.
True.
So they're no stranger to brand names.
Maybe Pop-Tart just wasn't wanting to play.
Or maybe they just felt like pie was universal enough that, pie, why not? Wayne Crow eats pie. What's wrong with you? Why can't you? So pie, that's going to be it. And if you do have a Google Pixel, which is, Google's home phone.
You get it first.
You'll get it today, actually. You can go ahead and I don't know if you have to go get it or if they'll just push it to you, but you'll get it today.
Which means at lunchtime you should probably have a piece of pie. If you want to be in sync and like truly together with your phone.
Yeah. I remember caring about like what level operating system I was using. I'm past that. I don't care anymore. I'm just like, whatever.
Do you get yours fairly quickly? I mean, again, it goes to levels for different phones.
It's usually about 2 months.
2 months after?
I have a Motorola phone, and they do push their updates pretty fast. I feel like Samsung is the one that takes forever. Like, they just take forever. And that's because they put, what do they call their OS? Is it TouchWiz? Like, whatever it is. They take it, and then they skin it.
Oh, sure.
And so...
How do you really feel?
As a side note, Nikki, if you were to have a piece of pie today, what would you have?
Ooh, a banana cream pie or a coconut cream pie.
You didn't even have to think about it.
Something with that big layer of like fluffy whipped stuff
cream?
on the top.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
A nice light crust.
I would like a pecan pie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no.
Or a pecan pie.
Pecan. I'll take that back. I'd go with that first.
The other thing that you could get that is so good is they call it a derby pie.
Yes. Yes. It's like a chocolate chip cookie, kind of like a pecan pie sort of thing, mushed together. That's a good one.
We have to stop now. Because, man,
once
we started talking about derby pie, something inside me changed.
Oh, and it's so warm. Like, if they warm it up, they have to do it right and then add some ice cream so it just melts all over it.
That's so good.
That's worth going. Like, where do you get pies at nowadays? Like a family event or something? Or a brunch?
The last time I had pie was Thanksgiving.
Okay, Thanksgiving time.
For real, I haven't had a piece of pie since Thanksgiving. We should do something about that.
We can't let ourselves have a pie every day.
No, but it's kind of pie day because of, Google. So it's a celebration. Now pass me that derby pie.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Our news guy, he says that crappy is pronounced crappie. Wrong.